another video. Welcome back to the channel, where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So, we're back again for another video. It's not an unbox. Wait, what's that doing there? What's going on? You hear that sound? That sound only means one thing. The Flux Pack. The mashup of Back to the Future and Ghostbusters in one insanely awesome prop, if I do say so myself. I built her after all. Now, this is the Flux Pack Mark II. Mark II because, well, I made some adjustments to it afterwards. The original one, Mr. Fusion broke off a couple times. I had a solid black bar on here that broke off the day of the con that I wore it to. And she's been sitting around for 2 years. She's been sitting around collecting dust. So, we need to make some upgrades. Nothing too crazy, nothing too insane. So, just to show you guys a quick breakdown of the Flux Pack. I gotta hook up the battery so I can give you guys a proper introduction to the Flux Pack. Now, I've reinforced Mr. Fusion, so he should not be bouncing off unless somebody threw me into a wall, then he's breaking off. So, Mr. Fusion was actually a USB car charger that I gutted out the electronics, mounted him on a couple wood discs, painted them silver, then applied some hazard tape around it, and mounted it right on top of the cyclotron. Now, that's where this is basically the nuclear accelerator that powers the proton packs. Now, its light scheme is a little different than what we see in the movies. I wanted that because I wanted to stand out from the regular Ghostbuster proton packs. I painted it silver. Now, some of the silver paint has worn away. There's a lot of rough edges from where hands have handled the pack. But that's perfectly fine. We want some wear and tear on the pack. We want to tell a story. We don't want this looking brand new all of its damn life. So, show you guys, we got some wear and tear over here. We got scuffs, we got cracks, we got hits and nicks and crannies all over this place. That's what we want, guys. We want it to look worn. We want it to look like it's been through hell and back, past, present, future, battling ghosts, anytime, any place, anywhere. So, any dimension, including Dave's dimension. So, now this was my first attempt at a proton pack. So, one, if you notice, the ribbon cable here is a bit messed up. I'm half tempted to kind of redo this, but I don't want to push too much work on here. I could probably straighten it out a little bit better. The way that it should look is pretty much like that. Excuse the mess, guys, but you see how this kind of turns and then loops through there and then goes right in? That's how it should look. And you can see on my full-size pack, that's pretty much how it goes as well. So, what do we need to do on here? Well, the hose or loom that goes from the pack to the Neutron one itself, well, it's beat up, so I need to get some kind of a bracket or tube to help protect it, and obviously I'm going to have to epoxy that on there so it holds in place. Now, all the wires and tubing here are original, except I painted this gold to give it a little bit of a copper look. Okay, we have some Back to the Future themed stickers. Flux capacitor 1.21 gigawatts, danger. And of course, I have some labels that I threw right on the flux capacitor itself, namely flux capacitor 1.1 GW for gigawatts, shield eyes from light, which actually appears on the actual flux capacitor. This thing is epoxied on, so it's going nowhere. Again, I have some more epoxy done on here with some metal piping, so it looks like the flux capacitor is powering directly into the proton pack itself. Now, this flux capacitor is not your typical flux capacitor. It's one from a Yahtzee kit. So, when I hit the switch and it shakes, it automatically lights up. So, it's perfect for any kind of a cosplay. You shake it, it lights up, guys. How awesome is that? And it just runs on some basic, I think, some AA batteries. This connects right on there. Bing, bam, boom. There we go. Now I do need to work on what's called the V-hook. The V-hook is where the one slides onto. It's a little loose, so what I have to do is go on the inside, a few globs of either I could do hot glue if I wanted, but what's even better is 2-part epoxy. It works like cement, guys. You will not believe how strong 2-part epoxy is. That will help me tremendously with this. Now, I do have a couple of Velcro pieces on here that I need to reattach. Those Velcro pieces actually go with, I have a time circuit component. The little display that shows you where you were, where you are, where you've been. That actually gets Velcroed right onto there. So I'm going to have wires coming out of there onto my belt. Okay? Now, here's the Neutron wand. This is the Spirit Scale Neutron wand that comes with the Spirit Scale, which is 80% scale pack. Of course, I've modded it heavily. Again, I went real heavy with the label makers because we know Doc loves the label makers. Do not X streams, as in do not cross streams. We have a Y here for the flux capacitor symbol. Flux. And I actually took some hockey stick grip tape, put that on the handles here so it gives it a little bit of a look, makes it pop a little bit. And of course I put McFly on here because when I did my first cosplay, I wore a gray jumpsuit that had McFly on it because I wanted this to be a true Back to the Future crossover with Ghostbusters. Now, if you notice, my Spirit Wand looks a little different because a couple years back, Spongeface McGee, also known as Doug K through gbfans.com and also on eBay, Spongeface McGee, he makes a lot of aftermarket mods for Ghostbusters stuff. Whether it's your ghost traps, walkie-talkies, he does a whole assortment of stuff. So, he had a special kit where we had these extra attachments. New barrel on here. Even electronics. What do I mean? Well, let's fire it up and show you guys. I have a little crank knob up here for volume control. You can see this lights up right away. It kind of does a crisscrossing effect almost. See? I love that. I went purposely with that because I wanted it to be different. So, we just have the bottom switch toggled up, right? So what that does is it lets us fire until it overheats. There you guys are. There we go, the pack vents. Now, if I hit the top switch now, top switch is toggled up. I can just keep on continuous stream without it overheating. If I want to turn it off, there we go. Now, I do have light switches here, here, and up here. The batteries on this one are worn out. So I can hit that. You can see it barely lighting up. Let me hit this one. I need new batteries all around. Lights up the temporal slime filter. And then I have one more battery pack right here. Lights up right here. I need to get some better batteries. But see, this right here, this is what's known as the Flux Bars, what you see on the front of the DeLorean and the back sides of the DeLorean that lights up when you travel through time. So, this I need to be a little bit brighter, so I need to put some better lights, better batteries in there. Another thing is, the bar here, this is just a screen mesh. Let me see if I can get you guys all the way over here. And if you notice here, this is a screen mesh here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. And then this little bar and this little bar. What those are, they're actually oxygen hoses. Old oxygen hoses from my nebulizer. I'm an asthmatic. I had some old hoses that I was going to toss out. So you know what? Let me save them. I got some thick metal wire that you can bend to shape or form. So I put them inside. And then I painted the hoses silver. You can't tell the difference. Now, if you look really up close, some of this is a little loose. And you can see some of the caked up hot glue on it. I want to replace that completely. So we want to take that off. We want to get rid of the hot glue and I actually want to reinforce that with epoxy. Epoxy, I could just put a faint little layer on it. It's going to harden within 5 minutes. It's good to go. I won't have to worry about the rubberness sticking here, and also how uneven it looks, because if you really look up close, it looks very uneven. So we just need fresh batteries, really fresh batteries. Do a little bit of cleaning. I'm not going to repaint. I might do a clear coat to help kind of protect the patina of the pack as it stands right now. And that's basically it. That and reinforce the V-hook right there. And she should be pretty much good to go. There's only one other thing I have to do. I need to take some adhesive, some epoxy, and put my battery on here. So that's all I really have to do, guys. Sorry, guys. That was my phone ringing because the wife was calling me. Now, this isn't supposed to blink because, well, the wire's a little loose and the batteries need to be changed. So there we are. Not very... Yeah, like I said, the batteries need to be changed. So I'm just going to shut you off. So, yeah, some basic mods, and I'm actually going to record those mods, those little updates. When I do them, you're going to see an update video with those. Now, just to give you a little background here, yeah, I even put ELB for Emmett L. Brown, Flux Pack version 2. Now, I have some Back to the Future themes labeling on the back of here. This one says Flux Capacitor. This one says Flux Capacitor in use. I have Flux Capacitor right here. I got a Ghostbuster time travel Back to the Future thing going on here. We have the GB Crossover Universe official patch. And of course we got Doc Brown Enterprises. So once I tidied all that up, oh, and by the way, when I originally wore this, I had 3 belt extenders on here. I don't need belt extenders anymore. So, and with, as far as that goes, as far as the costume goes, my uniform, I should say. Oh, yeah, we don't want that happening. As far as the uniform, I have a black t-shirt that has McFly on it, Ghostbuster logo, and I'm going to get myself some cargo khakis. That way I'm not overheating at the Comic-Con, at the Fan Expo. So, yeah, this is my plan. We're going to touch up the Flux Pack. We're going to bring her back to life completely. Now, I like to do a lot of heavy weathering on here. A lot of this is kind of dry brushing and weathering on here. If you're not good at weathering, you know what's really good? Silver or gray Sharpie. Or I will actually do a video where I show you a couple techniques that I did, but I did this when I first started. And I kind of think she looks pretty damn good for her age. I did this back in 2018. It's 2021, guys, so there we are. So, there we are, the Flux Pack Mark II refits. The plan is laid out. We have it on paper here, guys. Originally, we were having an issue with the Neutron one was dead. No sound in the pack. I had the wires crossed on the battery pack. We fixed that. So now we just need to realign the Flux bar and fix the V-hook, some fresh batteries, and we're good to go, guys. So there we are. We have a game plan. You guys are going to stay tuned. I want to thank you guys for checking out the channel. Thank you for supporting us as much as you have. We are now at 262 friends and family. That's 262 people who are checking out this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. We have some exciting things coming our way. We got some craziness coming our way, guys. And guess what? I want to thank you guys for always being there. And as always, keep on busting. And I will catch you on the flip side.